Tonight, you are exactly where you need to be. This gentle meditation is designed to help you unwind, quiet your mind, and slip into deep, restorative relaxation. As you listen, allow your body to soften, your breath to slow, and your thoughts to gently drift away so you can fully surrender to rest. Let's begin softly and kindly, as if you are stepping into a room where everything is arranged to care for you and absolutely nothing is required. Find a position that feels welcoming to your body, whether you are seated with an easy, tall spine or resting in bed with blankets gathered like a quiet shoreline, and let your hands fall where they naturally want to rest. Allow your eyes to close or grow heavy, and sense the air around you become gentler, as if the room itself were exhaling and making space for your breath to lead the way. Before we go deeper, I would love to hear where you are listening from, because your presence helps weave this friendly circle of calm. When you are ready, please leave a kind comment with your city, your country, or the cozy corner of your home where you pressed play, so we can feel our shared connection across the map. It might be a desk during a night shift, a dorm room with fairy lights, a couch beside a sleepy pet, or a bedroom with a lamp turned low, and your comment helps someone else feel less alone in their own space. Now turn toward your breath like a familiar companion, and notice how it has been caring for you all day, quietly and steadily, even when your attention was pulled in many directions. You do not have to change it right now, because your breath already knows the path toward steadiness, and it is happy to guide you with patience. Let your inhale arrive as if it were a small tide rolling in, and let your exhale return as the same tide gently slipping back, polishing the shoreline of your mind with each cycle. Take a slow, comfortable breath in through your nose and feel a hint of coolness at the tip of your nostrils, like fresh morning air. Exhale softly through the nose or mouth, whichever feels natural, and sense warmth leaving as if your body were sharing a quiet sigh of relief with the room. With that exhale, allow your shoulders to lower one friendly notch and invite your jaw to release from effort as your tongue rests from carrying the words of your day. If thoughts arrive, greet them like visiting birds and let them perch on a nearby branch without needing to push them away or pull them closer. You can tell them gently that you see them, that you appreciate their attempts to help, and that they are welcome to rest while you rest. Return to the breath as many times as you like, because returning is the practice, and there is no limited number of tries. Imagine a small warm light above the crown of your head, glowing at the perfect brightness for comfort, like a bedside lamp dimmed for an evening read. With your next exhale, invite that light to drift to your forehead and temples, smoothing the lines of concentration and easing the effort that gathered there today. Let the light travel over your eyes, softening the tiny muscles around them, and feel your gaze relax as if your vision had found a hammock to rest in. Allow the warmth to flow through your cheeks and jaw, and let the hinge of your jaw unhook with kindness as your tongue drops softly from the roof of your mouth. Sense the back of your neck lengthening and the throat becoming spacious, as if you had opened a window to invite in a quiet night breeze. With each breath out, release a little more of the day's noise, and with each breath in, welcome a little more of the night's calm. Invite that glow across your shoulders like a well-fitted shawl, and feel the weight you have been carrying slide toward the ground without any struggle. Let it travel down your upper arms to your elbows, down your forearms to your wrists, and into your palms and fingertips, where a gentle tingling may signal safety to your nervous system. You do not have to hunt for these sensations, because the simple act of noticing your hands is already more than enough. Welcome the warmth into your chest and notice the easy rise and fall, a movement that asks for nothing and offers everything. If a knot of feeling is resting there, you do not have to untangle it now, because you can simply place a hand over your heart and say, "I feel you and I am here." Let the upper back soften. Let the ribs open like the doors of a quiet garden, and let the breath wander in and out like a trusted friend who knows the path. Guide the light to your belly, and let the gentle lift and settling of each breath remind you of bread rising in a warm kitchen. If rhythm helps, try inhaling for 4 counts, pausing softly for 1, and exhaling for 6, allowing the longer exhale to cue your body that deeper ease is welcome. There is nothing to get right here, because kindness matters more than precision, and your kind attention is already perfect for this moment. Feel the glow reach your hips and your low back, and imagine those regions unclasping like a window latch released to let in fresh evening air. Let the warmth drift down the thighs, soften the knees, loosen the calves, and sweep along the shins until it pools at your ankles and feet. Allow the soles to grow pleasantly heavy, as if the ground or the mattress were saying, "I have you," and you can let go. Notice the whole body now, wrapped in an easy field of comfort from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Let this field be generous, allowing thoughts, feelings, and sensations to appear and dissolve without needing to be fixed. You are allowed to exist here exactly as you are, and that is not just acceptable, it is welcome. If it feels nice, silently repeat a phrase that soothes you and let it arrive like warm tea. You might say, "I am safe, I am supported, I am welcome in this moment," and allow those words to settle into the spaces that are ready to receive them. Let the phrases be offerings rather than demands, because your nervous system blossoms more easily under warmth than pressure. Let us take a few slow breaths together to deepen the ease that is already unfolding. Breathe in with tenderness for 4 counts, sensing the chest and belly receive your inhale like a kind gift. Breathe out for 6 unhurried counts, letting your shoulders release and your jaw soften as the breath leaves with a quiet thank you. Again, inhale gently and imagine the breath polishing the inside of your rib cage to a smooth calm that catches moonlight. Exhale patiently and imagine pouring out tension the way water flows from a pitcher, steady and complete without any force. Notice any small changes in temperature or texture or heaviness, and let those small changes be proof that rest is already working. Sometimes the body appreciates a friendly check-in, so scan with kindness from the crown of your head to your toes. If you find a place that feels tight, breathe there as if you were introducing that muscle to the idea of softness, not insisting on anything, simply offering. With each unhurried exhale, invite that place to release a single thread of tension and trust that many threads will let go over time. Bring awareness back to your face and smooth your brow from the inside, like pressing a silk ribbon flat with gentle fingers. Let the corners of your eyes soften, the cheeks rest, and the lips settle into an easy expression that requires no effort to hold. Allow your whole face to become a quiet lake where the moon can rest without ripples. Expand your attention to include the sounds around you without searching for them, and let them arrive like friendly birds landing on a fence. Perhaps there is a soft hum, a faint vehicle, or a whisper of air, and each sound can remind you that the world continues kindly, even while you pause. Let the sounds be part of the evening's orchestra, adding texture to your comfort rather than taking anything away. Notice the support beneath you and allow yourself to lean into it a little more, trusting that it will not withdraw. Feel the contact points grow heavier and warmer, and let heaviness be a synonym for safety rather than fatigue. Imagine gravity as a caring hand, encouraging every muscle to place its burden down where the earth can hold it. If you wish, place one hand on your heart and one on your belly, and feel the conversation between those two gentle locations. Let the hands be warm anchors that remind your body that you are here, you are kind, and you are choosing care. You can breathe with them as if you were rocking a small boat into a perfectly calm harbor. Sometimes emotions rise when we slow down, and that is a sign of trust rather than trouble. If a wave of feeling appears, imagine yourself standing on a spacious beach with plenty of room to watch the tide arrive and retreat. You do not need to label the water, because you can float on it with your breath and let it set you down gently when it is ready. Allow your attention to widen slightly to include your whole environment, and notice how the room participates in your calm. The objects, the walls, the windows, and the air become companions that agree to be quiet with you for a while. Let the space be a soft container that holds your body and mind with respect and patience. We will take another gentle round of breathing together to seal this ease into the evening. Inhale steadily for 4, letting the breath arrive like a lantern turning up just enough to glow. Exhale for 6, letting the lantern dim to a perfect warmth that supports rest and invites stillness. Bring to mind one simple gratitude, something small and real from today, and allow it to rest in the center of your chest. It might be a message from a friend, a sip of warm tea, a quiet moment in a doorway, or the softness of these next breaths. Let gratitude be a candle that does not demand attention, yet continues to illuminate the room of your heart. Before we transition, I want to gently remind you of the invitation to share where you are listening from, because your words help someone else feel welcomed here. Your city, your country, your balcony, your study corner, your night shift break room, or your bed at the end of a long day are all beautiful places to name. When you comment, you join a constellation of listeners whose quiet lights make this space kinder and brighter for everyone. If you are moving into a longer meditation or drifting towards sleep, keep this relaxed rhythm of breath as a pocket lantern you can carry with ease. Let that lantern glow quietly in the background while the rest of you softens into deeper calm. Trust that the lantern will remain lit as long as you wish, guiding you gently without ever asking you to hurry. Feel again the comfort in your face, your shoulders, your chest, your belly, your hips, your legs, and your feet, and let that comfort deepen by a small, kind degree. There is no finish line to cross here, only a path that becomes more welcoming with every step of your attention. You have already begun walking that path by showing up, by breathing, and by allowing yourself to be cared for in this moment. If the mind wonders whether you are doing this correctly, let that thought sit beside you and enjoy the same quiet you are enjoying. There is no test and there is no grade, because this practice is a conversation with your own nervous system spoken in the language of kindness. Every breath you take here becomes a sentence of reassurance that the body understands more easily than any instruction. We will settle with one last round of easy counting to anchor the softness you have grown, Inhale for 4, feeling the gentle opening in chest and belly as if curtains were parting to reveal a calm night sky. Exhale for 6, letting those curtains draw to a cozy glow, inviting you to rest, to dream, and to be held. Notice the sense of enoughness that has begun to bloom, an understanding that you do not need to earn rest, because rest is a birthright that belongs to you tonight. Let that understanding drift through your muscles like warm water, loosening what was tight and soothing what was tender. Allow the remaining edges of the day to soften, as if fog were rolling in gently to make the world quiet and safe. When you are ready to continue into your next practice or into peaceful sleep, carry this ease with you like a soft shawl around your shoulders. Let your breath keep you company with its loyal rhythm, and let your body trust the surface that holds you. You are safe to release, you are welcome to rest, and you are invited to feel deeply cared for by this moment. A hush rises to meet you, soft as a blanket that has known many peaceful nights, and your breath becomes the softest wind that carries you forward. You feel the body lighten as if the day's weight were a scarf slipping from your shoulders, and you float with the ease of a leaf resting on a slow river. You lift above rooftops dappled with silver, and windows glow like small hearths that promise stories, tea, and patient listening. Somewhere a late bus whispers along a distant road, and the sound hums a lullaby that seems older than any worry you have been holding. The sky opens in every direction, velvet and kind, with constellations arranged like friendly faces that have been waiting to welcome you home. Clouds approach with edges bright as lanterns, and you drift through their pillowy halls as if you were wandering a bedtime library where every shelf holds a chapter of comfort. Cool moisture kisses your cheeks and forehead, and the tiny droplets feel like a chorus of quiet voices saying that you are safe and that nothing is urgent. You emerge into clear night again, and the moon greets you with a steady smile that feels patient and wise, like someone who has learned rest and now wants to teach it kindly. Beneath you, a lake mirrors the sky so perfectly that you feel held from above and below at the same time, supported like a hammock strung between two trustworthy trees. Your inhale becomes a bright thread that lengthens across the sky, and your exhale becomes a soft return that leaves the mind smoother than before. A pair of owls glide through the dark like quiet guardians, and their wing beats trace a rhythm that matches the pace of your softening heart. You let the body angle toward a gentle current of air that carries the scent of pine and distant rain, and the scent finds the knots in your chest and loosens them without any effort. Each breath gathers warmth the way embers gather glow, and the warmth travels to the hands, the jaw, and the shoulders with grateful patience. The nervous system hears the message before the mind can explain it, and begins to settle into a deep and trustworthy calm. Ahead, the horizon offers a ribbon of color that is not dawn, but the idea of dawn, a promise that everything knows how to soften. Lavender melts into pale rose, and the colors form a curved bridge across a valley of stars that pulse like fireflies singing a slow song. You drift onto the bridge, and the bridge holds you without question, woven from every quiet moment you have ever been given. Beneath the bridge, a river of clouds slides by with the tender hush of a lullaby, and tiny silver fish flicker under its surface like peaceful thoughts choosing rest. With each breath, you feel the bridge hum softly, and the hum matches the pace of your safe and unhurried heartbeat. You travel across as if guided by the night's own hand, and the hand is steady, and the steady hand is kind. On the far side, a meadow floats upon the sky, dotted with night-blooming flowers whose petals look like lanterns folded into gentle stars. As you pass, each lantern flower brightens in a tone of pearly light, and the brightness does not startle, but rather caresses the edges of your attention. The flowers release a fragrance that recalls warm kitchens, soft blankets, and conversations that never asked you to prove anything. A fox made of soft stardust steps from the meadow with a tail curled like a question that has already found its answer, and it dips its head with quiet welcome. You follow along a path lined with moon-polished stones, and each stone glows faintly as if pleased to lead your steps toward deeper rest. At the top of a downy hill, a bench of moonstone waits with the familiarity of a friend who remembers your posture and cares for it gently. You settle upon the bench, and the view unfolds like a blanket shaken out over a bed that was waiting for you. And below lies a lake of stars with shores of velvet. The fox curls beside your feet, and its breath moves like your own, steady and warm, while the sky rocks you in a cradle built from constellations. Memories float past like lantern boats, not to tug you backward, but to thank you for how far you have carried yourself, and then to drift peacefully on. A bell, far and sweet, sounds once from a village of clouds you have not yet seen, and the tone wraps around your heartbeat as gently as silk. When the sound fades, the pulse keeps its soft rhythm, and even the empty spaces between beats feel tender and spacious. You breathe again, and the body answers with gratitude in the language of release, and the mind answers with gratitude in the language of quiet. The fox lifts its head and blinks in the unhurried manner of those who have learned that night is a teacher, and you bow inwardly to the same old wisdom. The lesson arrives without words and says that rest is not something to earn, but something to receive. And the message drifts through your muscles like warm water. With that message, the shoulders slide one soft notch lower, the jaw unhooks another degree, and the space behind your eyes becomes a small room with a lamp turned low. You rise not because you must, but because the air invites you, and you float toward a valley of clouds that glow with slow aurora like watercolor breathing. Colors blend without edges, and they make a corridor of comfort that accepts your presence the way a friend accepts the weight of your leaning. In the middle of the valley hangs a house woven from silver threads, and a candle burns in its window with a light that looks like a remembered lullaby. The door opens easily as you approach, because a house built by night understands how to welcome without question. Inside is a window seat shaped like a crescent moon, cushioned with blankets that smell faintly of lavender, warm wood, and the promise of quiet hours. You settle into the curve, and the cushion molds to your back and shoulders like a memory of perfect comfort that your body never forgot. On a small table sits a bowl of night pears with skins that hold tiny freckles of starlight, and you lift one that feels cool and friendly in your hand. Your first bite turns into a ribbon of warmth that unwinds through your chest and drapes over your ribs, and everything inside you sighs with relief. You take another slow bite, and the flavor becomes softness that spreads to your hands, your neck, and the tender spaces behind your knees. Outside the window, snow begins to fall even though the air holds no chill, and each flake drifts like a patient wish that asks nothing of you. The flakes land on the cloud garden outside and do not melt. They simply glow faintly, joining the lantern flowers in a quilt of easy light. You watch the fall grow slower, and your blinks grow slower to match it, like doors closing with quiet care in a house where everyone is finally home. When you return the pear to the bowl, the candle's flame thins to a narrow line before brightening again, following the gentle rhythm of your breath without trying. The fox appears in the doorway and nods, as if to say that all important things have found you, and the nod helps a little piece of worry slide away forever. You feel the truth of that nod moving through your bones, simple and trustworthy, like a lullaby you did not know you remembered. The house offers a soft shawl woven from dusk itself, and when you place it around your shoulders, you feel as if evening has decided to personally keep you company. You could remain in this window seat for a very long time, and in a sense you will, because time slows down within rooms that understand tenderness. The candle, the shawl, the snow, and the fox hold a small vigil of kindness at the edge of your awareness, and they ask nothing more than your comfortable breathing. Eventually, a breeze curious as a cat lifts the curtain, and you feel the call to float onward through the night's next chapter, which waits with friendliness rather than urgency. You rise with the same ease used to turn a page, and the door opens to sky again, which stretches like a calm sea that intends only to carry you. With gratitude for the little house, you glide into the open and let your wings, those patient wings shaped from trust, settle into a quiet rhythm. The current guides you toward a cluster of stars arranged like stepping stones across a river, and each stone brightens as you approach, delighted to be of service. You follow the stones and arrive at a shoreline that glows from within, where the water speaks in syllables of light that spell reassurance. You walk at the water line, and the sand receives your feet with such devotion that any remaining tension loses its name and dissolves into comfort. A dune of velvet rises to your left with a pillow of cloud folded neatly at its crest, as if the sky had been expecting you and laid everything out in advance. You recline and feel the pillow cradle your head with a promise that has no conditions, and your eyelids grow warm and pleasantly heavy as petals ready to close. Above you, the constellations rearrange themselves into a gentle cradle that rocks in a breeze so subtle that it is felt only by the deepest parts of your calm. The moon tucks a silver ribbon beneath your head and hums a tune that remembers you from simpler times, and the tune threads through the body with effortless grace. Your breath becomes a soft bellows, filling and releasing in a measured cycle that feels completely natural, like waves loyal to the pull of the tide. With each exhale, the day steps back another pace, and with each inhale, the night steps closer with open hands. If a thought wanders to the edge of awareness, you cover it with a blanket of kindness and let it nap beside you. And the thought accepts the invitation without protest. If a feeling rises like a small tide, you ride it with the dignity of a leaf on clear water, knowing that both movement and stillness can be peaceful. Everything in you learns the word soften at the exact same time, and the word repeats with each slow breath until the lesson becomes instinct. You remember the opening words and smile inwardly because flying has become resting, and resting has become dreaming, and dreaming has become a sanctuary. The fox curls at your feet like a warm crescent, and somewhere far off the cloud house keeps its candle lit for travelers who will need it later. You recognize that you are a traveler who has been gently found, and that realization lays another layer of comfort over your shoulders. Feathers of quiet fall from the sky and settle on your thoughts until the mind wears a soft cloak that muffles every sharp edge it once carried. The cloak does not silence your inner world. It simply hushes it to the volume of a whisper that is easy to love. You realize that love is the true direction of this journey, and that love expresses itself now as rest. The shore hums a rhythm that is older than clocks, and your ribs move gently to match it, expanding and returning with reverence for the simple brilliance of breath. The glow of the water drifts into your limbs, and your hands and feet become warm anchors that tell the body it can drift without losing itself. Safety is not an idea in this place. It is a sensation that lives under the skin and speaks directly to the heartbeat. If you listen closely, you can hear tiny bells in the meadow behind you, and their tones align with the language of sleep that the night is speaking. The bells do not call you to action or demand that you move faster. They simply mark your passage into deeper stillness with respectful attention. With each chime, you cross another gentle threshold into a quieter room of yourself, and the rooms keep opening like nested shells. You place one palm on the chest and notice the warmth of your own kindness radiating back. And that warmth tells you that you are both the traveler and the harbor. The other palm rests near the belly and senses the tide of breath moving under it, steady and faithful like a friend who keeps their promises. You breathe together with those hands, and the body interprets this as permission to let go even more completely. All around you, the night gathers its many hands and offers to hold what you no longer need to carry, and you accept with a gratitude that lives beyond words. The acceptance arrives as a deeper exhale, and the deeper exhale becomes a key that unlocks a door inside the door you already passed. On the other side is a room where the bed is made of cloud and the sheets are woven from the quiet between heartbeats. You do not need to step into the room because the room steps into you, and the bed forms wherever your body rests. The sheets cover your thoughts, the pillow lifts your hopes, and the blanket tucks in your edges until every part of you feels honored. Nothing in this space explains itself because nothing in this space needs your understanding in order to care for you. Your breath flows like a lullaby that knows only one verse and sings it perfectly. And the verse says that you are safe, that you are cherished, and that you may sleep. The verse repeats softly until words dissolve into sensation, and sensation dissolves into trust, and trust dissolves into the sweetest drift. All that remains is the weight of your body handing itself to the surface that holds you, and the surface holding you with devotion. Far above, the constellations continue their gentle watch, and the moon keeps time with the patience of an elder who measures moments by breaths rather than minutes. The fox, content with the quiet success of this journey, closes its eyes and dreams of meadows where night flowers glow like small galaxies. The house in the sky leaves its door on the latch for anyone who needs it next, while the candle burns at the height that means welcome. You are here within this tender universe, and the universe is here within your tender breath, and the two understand each other completely. The shoreline of wakefulness recedes the way a tide recedes at the perfect moment, and the sea of sleep rises to meet you with a promise of peace. You do not have to try, you only have to allow, and in allowing you realize that you have been carried all along. Rest now as if the night has put a shelter over your dreams, with your breath as the softest lantern, and your heart as a quiet lighthouse guiding you safely inward. Let the lantern glow without effort, and let the lighthouse sweep the horizon of your inner world with a beam that says everything is okay. Trust the beam, trust the lantern, trust the steadying cradle of darkness, and trust the kindness that surrounds you and fills you with every breath you take.